Let's talk to you a bit about how authentic do you think some of the storylines are?
Well,
so far?
I really think Downton is so authentic.
Yeah.
It's so authentic about the life of the aristocracy. And Julian Fellowes, he really hits these big historical moments. We start with the Titanic. We've had World War I. We've had the fight for Irish freedom. I mean, it really is fascinating the way all of these big historical events are woven into the story of the house.
So I was trying to tease something out of Lady Carnarvon there. She was giving nothing other than opening and closing doors.
Which is obviously important. I'm here for the doors.
It's part of the most important bit of the house. So who's opening the doors and who's going to do it? So 1928 was the last film. What do you think we can expect for Downton for this film?
Well, what I would expect, because if we're going into 1929, there are two major events in 1929. In May, it's the first election in which all women can vote, because in 1928, it's expanded to all women who can vote. So that it's called the flapper election in May 1929, because there were so many young women voting, because in 1918 it was only the over 30s. So we'll expect to see the servants voting. I mean, that's going to be quite exciting, and maybe there's going to be some division in the servants about whether they should vote or not, because maybe some of the older ones might not feel it's something they would do. I don't know. So that's, I think, a big event in May. And then, of course, the big event of 1929 is at the end of the year in the autumn, when we have the Wall Street crash in America, which impacts on the UK. So the Wall Street crash in America, which is caused by overinvestment in the stock market and this belief that the booming stock market is never going to end. And it ends. We have Black Tuesday, in which 16 million shares are sold, and suddenly America's in a huge crash, and it impacts on the UK because so many of American loans have come to Britain. And I was just wondering, because I've seen that in some of the recurring characters, we've got Cora's American playboy brother who's coming back, Paul Giamatti, and I wonder whether maybe he might have encouraged them to invest some money in the stock market and it all explodes. That's just my guess, because I do think that the big character of this new film, which is so exciting, of course, we saw the sad end of Maggie Smith. We won't see her anymore. I'm heartbroken.
She was
I know, we loved her so much. So that was such a sad ending of the last film, the beautiful film. But this one, I wonder whether the jeopardy is going to be about the house, because we saw in the last film that the roof was leaking and they had to have the film come in to film the money, to get some money. So I wonder whether with taxes soaring, with it being more and more difficult to get servants, because more servants in this period want to go into industry, into the factories, we're starting to gear towards the days in which houses are being lost. By 1955, a historic house is demolished every 5 days. So this is a tough time for historic houses. So I wonder whether this Lady Mary is going to be fighting to save Downton in this film.
And if American uncle has sort of got the family to invest in the American stock market and they've lost a lot of money, then suddenly they can't afford the house. It's even more jeopardy.
Then World War II, I mean, like...
Well, this is it, because I've heard...
It all leads on.
Well, this is it, because I've heard them saying this is going to be the final one, but then I've also read Julian saying he keeps reading it's going to be the final one, and then it's not. And how can we resist taking it up to World War II and seeing the family in World War II and the house being perhaps requisitioned for soldiers? So I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. They could be all going to space for all I know, but that's my bet, and I really hope that this isn't the final goodbye for Downton, because there's so much more history to go.
It's been lovely exploring it. Lady Carnarvon, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're all thrilled to bits that it's happening.
So exciting.
I assume that the new film is a bonus for you guys and the business of people coming to visit Highclere. Can people still visit while filming's taking place?
Well, no, they can't visit when film is taking place. That's why it's such an advantage for the filming company to come here, because we can choose when we open and close. We are open over the Whitsun Bank holiday. We will be open over summer. And like when they were making the TV series for ITV, you know, they dipped in and out around some of the times we welcomed visitors. So I hope it works really well, because everyone can kind of vest and be here and be on set, but not actually when they're filming here.
Well, look, it's been lovely to see you. Thank you for inviting us back up to Highclere, and hopefully we'll get to see more of you throughout the filming of this third film. Great to see you this morning. Kate, thank you as well.
Thank you. We should take the car up there for a quick drive, you and I.
Someone's got to work out how to get it out. I think Kate might be having a little snooze. He's got a couple of hours to stay parked there.
It's all right.
Right then, coming up.